Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, August 25, 2025. I'm going to jump right to the chase here, and that is the Friday rally settled the market above this 1 week descending channel top at 324.75. This is our support short term. 324.75 can contain session weakness, and above which this week, over the next 3 to 5 days, potentially today, we should push back into this meaningful zone of resistance at 349.91. And you could combine it with longer term resistance in the low to upper 350s. 349.91 is a formation that we tested a couple of weeks ago, and at the time mentioning how you can hold out for, as a 2 to 3 week swing trader, a short position that would anticipate 308.15 as an objective. We held to that objective at least over the next week or two until we settled Friday above 324.75. And that does reverse short-term momentum only. But we can once again reapproach 349.91 as a short play that over the following 2 to 3 weeks can yield 308.15 as an objective where profits can be taken, and one could go long here. As we move into September, we could round up again into the 350s. That is kind of the dynamic as we move into September trade. That 349.91 is really part of a range now up to 359.13 that can absorb once again buying pressures through September, and we can fall away again. And so I would just say that, as we test, if we test this area over the next day, 2 or 3, 351.39 to 359.13 is still a short play. Now, it's a exit a long position for 3 to 5 day swing traders if you happen to be long short term, but it is still an area that you can establish a short position, whether that is for the next 2 to 3 weeks back into the 308.15 area, or potentially even longer term. Selling the 350s does allow the market to fall all the way back into what is really the 250s over the next several months. There would be no clarification of that as a target, 253.40, unless we were to close then below that channel bottom I just mentioned at 308.15. And then we tip south through the rest of September and into possibly October. 2 to 3 week target, then 276.16, 1 to 2 month objective at 253.40. But we're not there right now. And in fact, where we are is a reapproach of 349.91 following Friday's settlement above 324.75. Now, for the day itself, I do have intraday support at 31.37 and resistance at 40.84. And you can see 331.37, nothing more than the high of the low, that recent low that was put out on Wednesday. That's a pretty decent intraday tradable level for day traders. And 340.84 is nothing more than the high settlement price that was put out following the July low a couple of weeks ago. 340.84 has its own pivot point qualities. And were we to push, especially open today above 340.84, you can see how easy it would be with present volatility to test 349.91 today. The beginning of a wide yet gradually narrowing zone of resistance up to 359.13 that can contain buying through September. And from here, once again, we can fall back to channel support at 308.15 within 2 to 3 weeks, possibly lower as we continue into October trade. Now, if we close above 349.91, and I'm not really talking 351.39, this first line, I'm talking, well, I don't know exactly what I'm saying, a 1% threshold, and it doesn't deserve 1%. It doesn't require 1%. 1% thresholds are really reserved for, 6-month or beyond line studies. So I'll leave it to you. But if we close above 349.91, that is in itself a sign of strength. But in terms of And what I'm trying to say here is if you go short at 349.91 and we close above 349.91, you may consider exiting that short position, just kind of letting this play out on a day-by-day basis. Or depending on how much you allocate in terms of your trading capital to this particular trade. You could also just put a stop loss above 359.13. It is a settlement on Friday for the week itself above 359.13 that does shift our focus into a much more bullish framework as we move through the rest of the year. I'm going to call this a 5 to 8 month rally to 521.42. Were we to close the week above 359.13? On the way up, just so you know, if we close above 359.13, I would consider this a 1 to 2 month target at 431.12. And this is a newly formed kind of a 6-month channel structure that can contain monthly highs when tested. And if we close above 359.13, I would consider this a 1 to 2 month target. So that is kind of the longer term swing trade right now.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
There will be other levels that we'll be pointing out on the way up, but really it is a settlement above 359.13, and that should be on a weekly basis. But I will say, if we close above 359.13 during the week, we will have satisfied, a couple of meaningful buy signals above this high area here in June, above the channel top at 349.91. If you add it all up, a daily settlement today, and I don't see this, but it could happen Wednesday or Thursday, where we close during the week, intra-week, above 359.13. That is, first of all, a sign enough to not be short anymore. And I also think sign enough to enter a long position, maybe scaling into a long position, buying some, and then the balance with the Friday settlement above 359.13. The midterm would anticipate this 431.12 and climbing, I would say, by the end of October. And as we continue through the first quarter of next year, 521.42 would be anticipated. And that is the down. Now let's cover the downside. Actually, I have not covered the downside. If we break or open, I don't see an open today, but if we do break 331.37, we test 324.75. This descending 1 week channel top, able to contain session weakness, and we could come off of here back into the upper 340s by Friday's close above 324.75. If we close today below 324.75, we then test 308.15 within just a few days. 308.15 is our channel bottom that can absorb selling well into September. We can round up again into the 350s from here. But if we close below 308.15, there is one position only that I would advise, and that is to the short side. 2 to 3 week swing traders can expect 276.16, and I do think 1 to 2 month position traders can expect 253.40. So you want to be short below 308.15, and you want to be long, as I said, above 359.13. And inside that, we've got these 2 to 3 week and 3 to 5 day swing trades that I've already mapped out. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. Last week we put out 2 stock picks, one on Lyft, the car ride company, and Sunrun Corporation, an American-based solar energy company. We do 2 a week, always looking for at least 20% gains on those underlying stocks. We have a whole host of stocks that are ready to go off that have yet to. You can see them all by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll also get our daily Triple Q, our daily SPY analysis, and our weekly Apple stock analysis. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Tuesday's Tesla. You have a great day.